First of all, what are brand elements? Also known as brand mix elements? These are the tangible elements that remind you of the brand. It can be the name of the brand, the logo, the packaging, the tagline, the sound that remind you of the brand, the jingles, everything that is used to remind someone of a specific brand. And now, before I continue, I need to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you find any value in this video and want to see more like this one in the future. Do consider subscribing. And to the people that have already subscribed, thank you so much for doing so. Now, brand mix elements. Name, logo, packaging, web design, and even the URL of a website. These are examples of brand mix elements. And choosing the brand elements is a task that should be done very carefully. There are some specific criteria behind choosing the brand elements, and these are the criteria. The brand elements or the brand mix elements need to be all this. It needs to be memorable, meaningful, likable, transferable, adaptable, and protectable. If you are following the brand management playlist, you know that you are choosing your brand elements to increase your brand equity. And for that, you have to increase the brand awareness. That will not work if people do not remember you. That is why the elements need to be memorable first. You have to make sure people remember your brand elements after seeing them. And just being memorable is not going to be too much helpful if people don't know what is underneath the elements. There has to be a meaning behind the elements. People need to have some idea what is behind the logo or the name of your brand. The ideal combination of brand elements will evoke the product or service they serve to the public. Meaningful in this sense does not mean there has to be a deeper existential meaning behind it all. Is the brand element telling you what they do in some way? That is all. In other words, the brand element is going to help you form the positioning in the mind of the consumers. Then after that, the elements need to be likable. Alright? Likability of the brand elements, not the brand. Keep that in mind. Is the brand element visually or audibly pleasing? You can create a logo that can be memorable and have meaning behind it, but if it is not aesthetically pleasing, people are not that likely to be attracted to your brand. Then, after these three, the quality a brand element should have is transferability. If you expand your product or service, you will be serving under the brand name. Can you use the same brand name? I have talked about category and line extensions already. You can check them out if you want to in the video titled Brand Extensions. But for this video, line extension is new product for another market segment. Category extension is new product for a completely new market, not market segment. And as a brand grows, you can have the option to expand the products you are selling under the brand name. But can the brand name be used for the new product or not? Simply put, your brand elements should not be focused on one single product itself. Your long-term goal is to expand the product. And when you go for it, make sure you can do that. The name Wendy's or McDonald's can extend their offerings to the customers more compared to the name Kentucky Fried Chicken. Chicken is in the name, so it is not as transferable as, say, Wendy's. I've talked about line and category extension. You also need to make sure the brand elements can be transferable across different cultures. That is, make sure your name does not have any unfortunate meaning in any other languages. I will leave a link in the description section where you can read how differences in language can have an impact on the way your brand messaging is structured. And another thing you need to keep in mind is, if you cannot transfer the credibility of the brand to another segment that easily, And if you are a big enough company, you can launch a new product line under a completely new brand name. You will not be able to leverage the brand equity of the existing brand name that much, but this is just a reminder that you can create a new brand identity as well. I talked about this in the video titled Brand Portfolio. Now, the fifth criteria is adaptability. You can also call it flexibility. It is the ability to change and rejuvenate the brand elements from time to time. I am pretty sure you have seen brand elements getting updated everywhere, and the recent trend is overly simplified logos. Some might like the changes and some might not. But what these brands are doing is changing their brand elements over time. You should be able to update the brand elements, and it should not be too rigidly set, because updating some of these things are necessary if you are operating in the market for a long period of time. And for adaptability, you cannot change the name of the brand all the time. So, you mostly need to work with logos, jingles, and packaging for adaptability. And the last criteria is protectability. Trademark, as simple as that. Make sure people cannot copy the elements. You can do that by registering the elements with proper authorities of the respective country you are conducting your business in. Your brand identity should be distinct. And that's it. Brand elements should have those criteria. This was not a big video. You can watch other videos on the channel now. The brand management videos are coming by the weeks, and I will be done with the entire playlist in a month or so. Then we will move on to service marketing. You can support the growth of this channel in a lot of ways. I believe you know most of them. You can like, share, subscribe, and everything else. And you can also support me on Patreon directly. Now, a small bonus. My bonus section for a while has been about who won the Nobel Prize in what section at what year from the beginning. For this video, I would like to tell you that the Nobel Prize in Peace and Literature in 1914 went to nobody. Yes, nobody won the prize in these two categories in 1914. Alright, I'm not leaving this section empty. The prize in 1914 in physiology or medicine category went to this person. And this is the official end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching, do not forget to take care of yourself. And I really hope you have learned something new today. Lastly, goodbye for now.